Dave Palumbo here from Muscle Serpents Daily, and I have this huge IMG, that's increasing melanistic gene, anery, motley, het albino boa here. She produced an awesome litter for me last year. I'm trying to breed her this year. She's actually in shed, so I'm hoping that this will be 100 days and we'll see some babies. She's very big, and as you can see, very strong. This is probably one of my strongest boas. I wish she wasn't in shed. You'd actually be able to see how black she really is in her iridescence. She's got a little bit of gray to her if you look under the body here, but even on top, I think in this sunlight, which is why I brought her outside, you can see the iridescence on this snake. Everyone asks me what makes a super black snake, and the truth is that the IMG gene, which is increasing melanistic, will make a black snake, but the truth is that you could make a blacker than black snake. This thing is jet black. There's not 1 ounce of that's not black here, and that's because of that motley gene, which makes it really dark, okay, which is something that really will intensify it, and the anery gene, because the anery gene takes out all the red, and then when you add the motley gene, which makes it darker, and then you add the IMG on top of it, you get this jet black snake, and you see all that great iridescence. And once again, remember, this snake is in shed. You can see her eyes. She's gonna go any day. She's not happy that I have her out here, and she's super big. I don't know if she's gonna actually produce a litter or not. We'll see. She's been in with a male for the last couple months. She really hasn't eaten much, so we'll have to find out. I really hope, because her litter last year was amazing. I'm gonna show you one of her girls that I still have. I sold a bunch of them, but I kept back one girl, actually 2 girls, but one of them is albino. But we're talking black snakes today. So let's go into the snake room, and I want to show you what it takes to make a black snake and what are the blackest snakes you could possibly make. All right, here is another really cool female I have, not quite as big as the other one. This is also a motley. This is a jungle too. It's an IMG, as you can see, really, really dark. Okay, but it also has the fire gene in it. And as we know, the fire gene lightens things up. If you look at the bottom of this chin, that really tells you that the fire is there. And as we know, 2 copies of the fire gene, and you get a super fire, which is a leucistic, black-eyed white snake. So this female, I don't think she's going to breed this year for me. I didn't pair her up with a male, but she's kind of on a little bit on the smaller side. She probably will go next year, but she is awesome looking. And you can tell she's an adult, but she is not completely black. But you can see the iridescence in part of her that it is black. It seems like the rear end of her got much darker, okay? Obviously underneath she still has that white, and I think that's, once again, that's the fire gene popping through. She's also het anery. I don't think that visually is showing anything. But if you look at the front of her, she still has pattern. Her head, which I think is awesome looking, that head, it's really cool looking, is not completely black. And I believe, once again, I think the fire gene really kept some lightness in there and prevented from the whole snake from going completely dark. And you can see even down her dorsal end, she's got saddles. They're just really light, and they're mixed in with this amazing iridescence of black. And once again, this is just a snake that's awesome. You know, I have that female I showed you before is het albino, and I produced a couple of Moonglow IMGs this past year, and they're awesome because, you know, who doesn't like, you know, albino snakes? But they're just, you just don't see the contrast of this blackness. So it's good. I like the fact that that female that's only het albino, so some of the babies are going to be albino, you know, IMGs, and some of them are going to be regular black ones. And because I actually think the black is cooler in a sense, because especially when you mix in other genes like that fire gene and jungle, because you're going to get all kinds of weirdness going on. So once again, I don't think anyone has produced an IMG super fire, and I don't necessarily know if it'll look any different than a regular super fire does. That's something I was trying to get this year. Once again, this girl doesn't seem like she's got any babies, and I don't think she's going to go. I think she's just a little too young. But next year, you never know. So once again, I wanted to just show you a little difference in what the fire gene does to that IMG. All right, so this one is one of the babies from that original black, jet black female I showed you before. This is IMG anery, okay, that's aneurystic, lack of red pigment. IMG, increasing melanistic gene. het albino without the motley. Now this is less than a year old, so she hasn't gotten all her blackness. Will she turn completely black? I don't know. She doesn't have the motley gene in her, and some of this whiteness in here tells me maybe not. Maybe she may not turn completely black. But once again, it took the other snake over a year to get her full color. So
look at that chameleon.
Yeah, she's like really loving this banana plant too. So I think that this snake could potentially turn completely black, but even look at the tail. You got some white in there, and it's interesting to see how it progresses. I was going to sell this girl, and no one had bought her. I sold her sister that was a hypo IMG motley, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to keep this girl. She's been growing well. Now I'm kind of attached to her, so I'm not going to let her go. And once again, I really love the black snakes, and I really didn't hold back another black one. So this girl's staying here. She's going to be my official holdback. Love her. Everyone, I put a picture up on Instagram, and people love her eyes. Her eyes are just completely, that's not shed. That's like a white, silver peppered eye that's just exquisite. And once again, these IMG boas, you never know what you're going to get with them. They just, when you combine them with different genes, different looks come out. I don't think any two are the same. To me, that's super cool. I'm going to bring out an albino version of this, and you tell me what you think. I think you're going to like the black one better. All right, so to contrast, now this is the albino version of that. So this is IMG Anery albino. This is Col albino line. So we can call this an IMG snow, because the anery with the albino is known as the snow. And you can just see that this snake just doesn't have any melanin in it. And this snake has a ton of melanin in it. So of course you're going to get a whitish looking snake when you take out all the melanin. And as this snake gets older and puts down more potential melanin, it's going to turn whiter, and you're going to have more contrast in the saddling and everything like that. So that's a super cool snake. This is a female. I'm holding her back because I really love the way she looks. She's like really exquisite looking, and she's doing really well. She's been putting on good size. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these two develop. She's a little smaller than this guy, and once again, it's a completely different looking snake. It's what you like. You know, I like both. I want the white and the black. And I love the contrast between the two. And they're just loving hanging out outside here. Now, luckily in Florida, it's 85 degrees, and the boas can hang out in the banana plants here and not have a problem. Matter of fact, do we have a banana growing here? Or that's just a new offshoot here. So if you're looking for a black snake, IMG is the way to go. And if you're looking for an albino, IMG is the way to go too. You just have to get the something that has either het albino or albino in it. Once again, if you get a snake, whether it be for me or someone else, that is het albino, it gives you the versatility to go both ways with it. And that's what I did. I bred a Moonglow, which is a hypo albino axanthic, to my IMG Anery Motley het albino, and so I got both from that litter. And that to me that's like the best of both worlds in one snake and in one litter. So whether that female will go again this year, I don't know. Now, to contrast the blackness of the IMG gene, let's go take a look and see what an Eclipse looks like, which is the recessive leopard combined with the motley gene. All right, to finish it off today, here is an Eclipse, a female Eclipse. This is a leopard that is also motley. So the motley leopard makes this solid black snake. It comes out of the mama looking just like this, maybe even a little darker actually. And if you guys know what leopards look like, look at that head. That's definitely a leopard head right there. It's that smallish looking, super distinct looking dwarf boa head. Now, this motley gene that it's mixed with is a Colombian motley. So this snake will definitely get bigger than just a dwarf, but not that much bigger. It's kind of like an intermediate between a Colombian and a dwarf boa. This is a female I held back. She was the only female Eclipse I produced, and she's 100% het albino, as are all my Eclipses. So I have 3 males for sale as well, and they're also het albino. The albino version of this is a white snake. That's called the Sun Clips. It's got a little, as you can see, this has a little bit of pattern on the sides, not much. In the albino, you can also see like a little bit of dorsal striping too as well. It's not quite solid. And once again, you can see some iridescence in the sunlight, but not like you did in the IMG. The IMG is a dark black snake. This is almost like a chocolate, dark chocolate type looking boa. And I think they're both beautiful. I really love both of them. I produced a couple of sun eclipses this year, but you know what? They just didn't make it. But these regular eclipse head albinos are doing phenomenal. Once again, this female is a holdback. I have some males for sale on the site. If you guys want to make your own, you can go that way. And I'm telling you, it's really cool when you have a litter and the mama gives birth and you see these dark looking snakes in the goo, as they say. All right, once again, what black snake or what darkness you put into your boa collection is entirely up to you. If it was up to me, I'd have them all, and I do. But you guys can start with one or the other. IMG is cool because you never know what you're going to get. It creates different contrast and different looks with different genes, whereas once you produce this Eclipse, you really don't get much variation on this look, aside from the fact of whether you put albino or not into it. Or, you know, it might even look cool, T positive, and this might be cool as well. The eclipses that have the hypo gene, and also the hypoclipses, they're really cool too. They get really light looking. They get a lot more red in them as well, because remember, underneath the darkness of the leopard gene is a lot of red. So there is variability, of course, with this Eclipse project, depending on where you want to take it. Once again, boa breeding in the snake world is great because there's something for everyone. It's whatever your taste is, and that's what makes it so wonderful. I was going to put my big girl here in this little banana plant, but it's just not big enough yet. This is a little bigger than a banana boa here, but as you saw today, there's many ways to make a black snake. This is the blackest I have in the collection, once again in shed, unfortunately. But if you guys want to make a black snake, you got to get that increasing melanistic gene. You got to get the anery gene in there, and if you can get motley in there, it's even better. Now, the leopard motleys, which we also call the eclipses, are really nice looking snakes, and they're really dark too, but they're not quite this black, but they come out of the mother looking as black as they do there. But as you can see, it's more of a chocolate, you know, black. So depending on what your taste is and what your desire is and how black you want your snakes, there's a recipe for all you guys out there. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's boa video. If you did, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, click the like button. We'll see you back tomorrow.